Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and I finally watched Porco Rosso. This was directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It is the next film in the Studio Ghibli catalog, and it has the voice talents of Michael Keaton and Cary Elwes, among others. And this was released in Japan in 1992. It tells the story of, a man named Marco Pidgeot, played by Michael Keaton, who, after serving valiantly in World War I, has a strange curse on him to where he looks like a pig. But Marco makes his living by hunting air pirates in 1930s Italy, and becomes embroiled in a rivalry between himself and an American pilot named Donald Curtis, played by Cary Elwes. In a kind of similar fashion to My Neighbor Totoro, the plot of this movie doesn't really matter, because this movie was made for one reason. This was meant to be kind of a promotional video for Japan Airlines. Japan Airlines actually approached Miyazaki and saying, hey, can you make like a short film for us? And Miyazaki, who is documented as a genuine lover of aviation, said, yeah, sure. That short would have been loosely based on Miyazaki's manga called The Age of the Flying Boat. However, due to a bit of an outbreak of war in Yugoslavia, Studio Ghibli said, okay, we gotta add something a little more serious to this. Which also prompted this to turn from a short film to a feature-length film. Because, quite bluntly, Porco Rosso is a vehicle, pun intended, for Miyazaki to show off his love of early aviation and his absolute hatred of fascism. And no, I am not just making that up off the top of my head. In my research, I found that this movie was made exactly for those reasons. And Miyazaki's love of early animation is woven into the very DNA of this film. Donald Curtis is made of an amalgamation of many different people. The name Curtis is an homage to Glenn Hammond Curtis, who, along with the Wright brothers, yes, those Wright brothers, started up one of the first aviation companies in America called Curtiss-Wright Aviation. There's also a dash of people like Ronald Reagan. Curtis in the movie is an actor who is also a pilot and is looking to become embroiled in American politics, just like Ronald Reagan. And Errol Flynn as well. And looking at the two side by side, Curtis and Errol Flynn, yeah, it's not hard to see the resemblance. And Miyazaki's hatred of fascism shines like a diamond in this movie. There is a line where Marco is cashing a check to do repairs on his seaplane, and the bank teller says, your account has now been paid up. Would you like to purchase some patriotic bonds? And Marco, a pig, says, no, I'm not a fascist pig. And speaking of pigs, let's talk about Marco, played by Michael Keaton. They got the perfect voice for this. Michael Keaton has a surprisingly good voice for animation. The movie does a good job of showing that he's kind of carefree at times, but when it is time to care, he cares deeper than anyone else. And as far as Donald Curtis goes, he could have been so easily just been like a caricature of like the early 30s, like American who's like, hello, my dear, I am an American. But no, they got the perfect voice to voice him in Cary Elwes. And he was a villain that you kinda liked to hate, if that makes any sense. My favorite scene in the entire movie was the final duel between the two. It starts out as just a standard air race, and then as soon as they try and get the kill on each other, both of their machine guns jam. And so when they realize this, they just start throwing random stuff at each other. It was the funniest thing that I had seen in a long time. At a certain point, they just start throwing wrenches and bottles and anything they can get their hands at each other while just yelling at each other. I don't know, it was just really funny. And then at the end of the race, it turns out that it was a draw. So they both get out, and they start a fist fight. And folks, unironically, this fight is brutal. I was sitting there watching this, and I'm like, Khabib and Conor didn't hit each other this much. Also, the animation is brilliant in this scene as well. The animation's brilliant. all the time. It's Ghibli, so of course it is. But specifically in this scene, you can just tell just how brutal it all is. Most of Studio Ghibli's output are relatively peaceful movies, but when they show violence, it shows it as just the worst possible outcome you could ever hope for. There's something about that I just respect. And at the end of the day, I'm not 100% sure if this is my favorite Ghibli movie. I still think that's Kiki's Delivery Service. However, this is one of the more fun ones that I watched. This is one of those Ghibli movies that I have heard not as much hype about, and I walked into it kind of blind as to what to expect. And I walked out surprised at how much I liked it. I was expecting to like it, but not to the degree that I did. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I'm going to be doing a bit of a shift in the programming for the next couple of weeks. I usually do these I Finally Watched videos every couple of weeks. However, I'm going to move up the next I Finally Watched video for Ocean Waves to next week, because on April 4th, I have a very special video coming, and it's going to be myself, Rachel over at Rachel's Reviews, and Durbin over at Durbania, and we're going to be reviewing The Prince of Egypt, and I am very much looking forward to that. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.